Today for my audience, I have my wife, Holly. Thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time to listen. Today I'm here to just talk about pit bulls and the negative stigma that they have associated with them. Actually, if you're looking and researching pit bulls through the 18th and 19th century, they were actually called the nanny dog. They were considered the best temperament, the best dog for a nanny for young children and as a family dog. And over the years, they've just had a lot of negative publicity, and it's really changed the minds of people just to think of pit bulls in a negative fashion. And I would like today to shed some light on a few things that might actually change the mindset of people in regards to pit bulls. A person that is pretty widely known these days is Cesar Millan, and this is something that he is quoted saying, that in the 70s they blamed Doberman Pinschers. In the 80s they blamed German Shepherds. In the 90s they blamed Rottweilers, and now they're blaming pit bulls. And it's just, it seems like when they just change and they go after a certain breed for whatever reason, and now it is pit bulls. And some actual fact from the American Veterinary Medicine Association. First thing being, they are the most overbred and most euthanized dog out of any breed there is. There's a lot of overbreeding. People they try to make money selling dogs, and there's overbreeding, and that really plays a big part into why you see a lot of dogs acting the way they do. I mean, a dog is just showing what the owner has taught them and how the owner takes care of them. It's not the dog itself, it's the owner, because they're a very loyal dog and they're going to do what you ask them to do. And if that's violence and negative things, they're going to do that to the T. But a stat from the American Veterinary Medicine Association is that they actually, in this test, there was 30,000 dogs, a temperament test. And when they found the results, is 83% of all breeds passed. But pit bulls actually had an above average temperament, 86% passed. And pit bulls were actually the second most tolerant breed, only behind golden retrievers. That's out of all dogs, their temperament level was rated second. That's good. That just shows that, and that's if they're going to snap, how they react to things. That's the temperament test is what it conducted to see how they would react to certain things, and they show that they actually are very mild, pleasant dogs. And some pictures to show. I have this picture right here, and let me get it better focused. Is that in this side of it you see kind of like a shady character, a person, the owner. It's a metal chain. The dog is, obviously showing its teeth, scar over its eye, indicating scar in its ear, indicating that it's been in fights. And you see the loving family. It's a nice mellow dog. There's not the spike chain around its neck. It just kind of gives you a depiction, and it really goes to show, you have one owner, I'm not trying to stereotype, but an owner that is depicting that they might have a pit bull do things that are going to make it violent. And that is very it's incorrect. And here's some pictures actually to show. These are from the 18th and 19th century. These pictures, like I said, they're called nanny dogs. This right here is a pit bull with a young child. This is a family picture, so obviously, the dog meant a lot to this family. Again, more pictures. This is two young kids with a pit bull. And again, a young kid with the pit bull. This is all the 18th and 19th century, a long time ago. This is a more modern picture. It still holds true to today. You have a pit bull in a hammock with a young girl, just showing the affection and love that these dogs have. And on a personal note, the reason why this topic strikes a chord with me is I actually own a pit bull. I have a male dog, Roscoe. He is actually a pit bull Labrador mix. And then my female dog, Lola. She is a purebred blue nose double XL pit bull. And this is them. This is Roscoe. And this is Lola, about 8 weeks when we got her as a puppy. And this is kind of like the same picture, just when they were older. And the reason I'm showing these pictures is to just to show that it is a personal thing, that I can actually attest to it as a fact, that these dogs are loving. I've never been around a more gentle, loving dog than my dog Lola. I mean, I've had dogs my entire life, been around dogs, love animals, but her temperament is the best. There's no other animal that I trust around my kids. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 3-month-old son, and there's no other dog that I trust 100% to be around my kids except for Lola. And here's a picture of my daughter, fairly recently, sitting on top of Lola. And it doesn't bother her in the slightest. Lets her rough house with her, do all kinds of stuff, and she doesn't react. This is when my daughter was a little bit younger. She's actually combing Lola's head with a hard brush. And I mean, combing pretty hard, no reaction, none whatsoever. This is a picture of my wife with the dog, just showing how much love there is. And with all this being said, I just really like to just emphasize the fact is just please, for everyone, to stop automatically stereotyping these dogs. On the news, they get the bad publicity. Whenever you hear dog attack, the first thing I think is please don't be a pit bull, and it tends to be. A lot of times, looking into it, if you actually look it up, pit bulls, there's other dogs that are mistaken as pit bulls. I mean, a lot of dogs, kind of like bulldogs, things like that. So it's not always pit bulls. Second thing to take into account is the owners. There's gonna be, there's bad people in the world. There's gonna be bad dogs, and it's for a reason. You don't know what they've been through, but it doesn't say they can't be rehabilitated, even if they've been through bad circumstances. A couple examples is there is a dog named Stubby. He was actually Sergeant Stubby. He's the most decorated canine war hero in United States history. And he was actually a stray dog that showed up in the summer of 1917 at the Yale Bowl in Connecticut as the soldiers were training, found by Corporal J. Robert Conroe. And like I said, he is the most decorated canine war hero in United States history. And that's a pit bull. Law enforcement uses pit bulls now. Loyalty, and they're wanting to complete a task. Another fun fact about the Stubby, the war hero, is he's actually, when Corporal Conroe went to college, he was the mascot for Georgetown University, the Hoyas. He was actually the mascot, and it just goes to show what these dogs are capable of when given the correct circumstances, taken care of correctly, given discipline, and loved. There's nothing more you can do than just basically, you really need to give dogs discipline and love, and they're going to reciprocate it to you. And these dogs are wonderful breeds. And I hope that with this message, I've kind of shed some light, showing there's some history back to the 18th and 19th century, with them being considered perfect family dogs and dogs for children. And even with dogs, the pit bulls now that are fighting, you can go on YouTube and look up videos of Michael Vick about his dogs that have been rehabilitated. Just kind of gives you an example of what causes it, and what these dogs are really made of and capable of. Thank you for your time.